Sleepers Podcast Wednesday, November 12th. That boy D Hill is back in the building. You are in for Cart today. Should be fun. It's been a while since you and I have done a full episode. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? It's been a month, I want to say, since we did a full episode.
Should we make this a new bit? Like, it's been probably like 6 days since we've seen each other on a Zoom call. Instead, we're like, it's been 9 months, man. You look good.
What's funny is we always like joke like Cart like bails on like the day that I have to sub in, but then like oddly enough, like we'll go weeks without recording at the same time.
It's extremely true. Yeah, literally 2 nights ago, I was on a Zoom call with you and Riley and Carter just doing some planning. And yeah, I gave you guys shit because I was like, we don't even put Dion formally on the schedule. We just wait for one of us to cancel. Like, Cart, realistically, you do that twice a week. And everyone, I could tell Cart was like, damn, dog. Like, I didn't expect that. And then less than 12 hours later, I was the one being like, Dion, I need you. So somehow that way turned into you and I together again, though. Even though I was the one asking you for a schedule cover, it's Carter who you replaced first. I think tomorrow you're going to do some stuff with Cart, though. So does it feel good to be back in the mix?
It's always good to be in the mix. I love doing this. I think it's fun. One of my favorite things to do is like mess around in the comments with people too. Like that's like a pastime for me. I get home from work, I pour a whiskey, a little ice cube. I'm working on getting those square ice cubes for the whiskeys, and then I load up YouTube comments.
When you say I'm working on getting those square ice cubes, what exactly does that entail?
I have no idea. Uh,
Feels like that wouldn't be something that needs much work. Just a quick Amazon.
yeah, it's way easier than I'm making it out to be. But I like making stuff harder on myself than it has to be. That's why like I go down hundreds of dollars gambling because it's more fun to dig out of that hole than to just be up thousands.
Bet responsibly, folks, please, of course.
Yeah, of
But
course, of course.
yeah, just metaphorically speaking, of course.
Metaphorically. Speaking of gambling though, gee, I want to file a class action lawsuit, and I feel like I have to run this by you before I do it.
I'm scared. Why?
I'm pretty sure I'm a part of every rigged game possible.
Meaning what?
Like I'm just the amount of times I'm 1 point off and something dumb happens, I'm pretty sure the team that I'm betting against has themselves, and then they purposely do something dumb, so I lose the bet that they just don't need to do. Also, I think it was is it Dylan Ceesay, the or well, I almost said the wrong redacted name, the Guardians closer.
Emmanuel Clase.
Him. Dylan Ceesay is on the Padres, I believe. But Emmanuel, E-Man, as I like to call him, he like never blows saves. I'm pretty sure I've been a part of every single blown save he has, and I think it's because that dude was telling him to throw balls.
Well, yeah, you know the actual like specifics on that whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he was
and
just first pitch of the game. That's all. He was just throwing it in the dirt. And then there were a couple plays where like a hitter swung anyway, and there were texts from people being like, "Damn it." He's like, "My bad. Sorry." It's
wait,
crazy.
so that guy was a starting pitcher?
He was a closer, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a closer.
So the class action's back on. If he was a starting pitcher, then I got him confused and I was going to ignore the class action. But I do think I was a part of a lot of those games where he was just throwing balls. And then, see, here's the thing, like, it's like tennis. Once you start doing something, it's hard to revert back. And I think that's why, like, I was losing some of those bets. And then the games where he wasn't receiving those texts, he's just a dominant closer.
Well, I think it was every game. That's the thing. I think every game he came in and threw a first pitch ball in the dirt.
Got
So
it.
not
Well,
exactly the smartest operation.
class action's probably off then.
Probably,
Um,
we'll talk. We'll get our legal team involved for you, Dion.
but like on a flip side, I want to hate being a part of some of them group chats. Like I,
I would hate that. I do not endorse that, to be extremely clear.
on this
Uh,
side, I don't want to be a part of those group
yeah,
chats.
good Lord, man. Okay, so I feel like I had 1 to 2 more things. Oh, you got some news that I think. Are we unveiling news yet? Probably not, because you and I literally just verbally discussed this for the first time 10 minutes before this call. But next week, there's going to be something new from Dion, unless this blows up in our face. Should we talk about it right now, or should we wait?
I think if we talk about it now, we kind of force other people to agree to do it with me.
That's the thing. I think if we talk about it now, it has to be real. Otherwise, we become people that don't live up to our word. And I don't like being a person who doesn't live up to our word. So it's your thing. I feel like you should get to unveil this red carpet style.
So every day, sometime between 9 and 10. We haven't decided what the time is yet. I think the ideal time is 10, but if it has to be earlier, we will do it earlier. We're gonna do a 30-minute live stream on the channel, basically just interacting with the chat, kind of discussing the previous night's biggest storylines. Basically, like taking all the shorts we do, I feel like, and combining it into like a 30-minute video with a live chat.
Yeah, Sleepers Live.
Sleepers
Sleepers
Live.
Live for the first time, real Sleepers Live content every single morning, 5 days a week. Just looking at what happened in college hoops last night, maybe a quick look at what's coming for the night to come. Should be fun. It's going to be Dion's baby. That's the plan. Car and I will still be doing everything that we are currently doing. No changes whatsoever to that. But we kind of realized there was a gap in our coverage that we want to add to. Because if you listen to the full podcast episode in the morning, that's great. Maybe listen to it on the way to work. Then there's like 3 hours where you're waiting for shorts. And people have been tagging us more than ever, being like, where's my recaps? Like, we're recording it right now at 9 a.m. So we want to fill that gap. We want to give you something that feels different, feels unique, feels fresh, that adds to our full offering here at Sleepers. That is where that boy D Hill, Dion Hill Ford, comes in. So it also solves my problem, which I've been very clear about. When we're making the schedule week to week right now, it kills me that we don't put you on it. I just feel like I got like a Cy Young winner sitting in the bullpen, like waiting for me to tap the arm. I don't like having to wait to tap the arm. I don't want to wait for Carter to get Tommy John to call Dion's number. So yeah, that's what this is. Dion officially is going to be an everyday part of this, the same way that Carter and I are. The hope would be that we give you a co-host every single day. Sometimes that will be me, sometimes that will be Carter, sometimes that hopefully will be other members of our team. But I'll be honest, Dion, if you want to go out and get someone random to be your co-host for this, I'll do it. At this point, I'm open to that. So you got any ideas of what that looks like yet?
I don't, but I think what we've learned with the beginning of this episode is I need a co-host, or else it could go off the rails really quickly.
Yeah. Well, I like going off the rails with you. So, but I think you're right. I think just giving you like a little, just like a little, like it's like HR. Let's put HR on the call with Dion.
It's like how Braun has a head coach. Is he calling the shots? Yes, but there's still another voice in the room that's like, okay, Braun, that was a little much.
Yeah. Or didn't Braun like bring James Jones with him everywhere for like 5 years?
Yeah, just somebody in his corner, like, hey man, like settle down a little bit.
Yeah, basically, we need James Jones. So texts have been sent to Riley Davis. Texts will be sent to others for the James Jones role here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It should be fun. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to be a part of it. And we got to come up with a name. Otherwise, it's just going to be Sleepers Live. But do you have any thoughts?
Um, Everything I do is Barstool related in life, so probably something at like sleepers after morning or something like that. Sleepers in the morning. I don't
Sleep
know.
Sleepers in the mid to late morning.
Yeah. Sleepers somewhere is the morning type of thing, but other places it's the afternoon.
Sleeping in with Dion Hill Ford.
I kind of like that.
That's
I
not bad.
I kind of like that.
My original pitch was going to be the sleepover with Dion and John Martin, but yeah, I guess it's just your show. So I don't know. This I kind of like the sleepover too because it's like a do over. Like we're looking over last night while sleepers. I don't know.
The sleepover with Dion and Ryan Hammer. I kind of love that.
Sounds good.
I kind of love
Everybody
that.
knows you got to bring out the hammer at a sleepover. So should be fun. Should we get to the show, Dion?
I think we should.
You want to kick us off with a YouTube comment? Do you have one today?
I do have one. I love it's from Kyle Bauman 10. He's one of my favorite commenters. He says, I love that the world is waking up that Illinois was always going to be better than UCLA going into this year, and they have them above us, or they have had them above us. Did you guys have UCLA above Illinois? No, right? You guys had Illinois 3.
I had Illinois way above UCLA.
Yeah. Can we speak about the Sleepers Top 25 really quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Not to divert away from the YouTube comment. I've never felt more pressure doing something in my life.
Ranking teams?
My name was right next to Hammers, and I didn't know what to do with that. So like a lot of times, I think I was squeezed in between you and Hammer. So there's a lot of times where I'm like, okay, like where did they have Illinois? Okay, way above me, or way above, or there like I had Florida at like 14, and I was like, uh-oh, my Florida is really low in comparison to theirs.
Yeah, I think I'm a bad person to have in these exercises because I can totally see how real poll voters mess up and are like, "Ah, I don't care." Like I'm filling that out. I'm gonna be done in 3 minutes. Like I put a little bit of thought into my top 10 and then I'm just filling in teams. So sorry if we got anything wrong, but I did my best. And it's groupthink, right? There were like 7 people that contributed, so you can't be too
Yeah.
mad at any of us.
I did have Virginia Tech 27, by the way. So mine was the top 27. I don't know how Booby's gonna factor that in. But I did have two honorable mentions because, like, why would I stop? Once I get in a groove, I keep going. Virginia Tech's probably gonna be in the top 10 if Baby Luca does anything like he did in the last game again.
You going baby Luca with that? Neoclis, Neo?
Yeah, so it's like Luca if it you know who he's fat Luca. He's not like skinny Luca, but like when Luca was like a little bit fat and like moved a little slower and his jumper was a little worse, that's him. And by the way, that version of Luca was still 25, 7, and 7.
I just think he's baby Kasparis. I think he's Yakichonis 2.0.
I think he's better than Casper. That's the
Really?
problem.
He might
Yeah.
be. Kasparis had some crazy early season performances though, and then it
I
kind of
might be
tapered
forget-
off.
I might be forgetting some of his just because of like the way he ended, plus like some of the big turnovers that he had
Yeah.
in moments. But that dude, the way he got to his spots was nuts. It was
Yeah.
nuts watching that game. Like he's not faster, he's not quicker, he definitely doesn't jump high. He's 6'9", I'm not sure he can dunk. But like that step back is nasty.
Yeah. I mean, he looks great. He looked phenomenal. I'm excited to see it. These freshmen are crazy. You add like the European talent that is coming in that I think college basketball probably more talented than it's ever been right now.
Do you think the European talent sticks? Like how long before somebody does something about this?
I think it sticks. I think if anything, it gets more and more prevalent. I don't think they can go back on it now.
I hope so because they're so good, but
Yeah.
like they feel like you watch Hans Steinbach, you watch Nico, I don't know how to say his name, but Nicolas.
Neoclis. I call him Neo. Neo Abdallas.
Neo, and you watch Baby Merc, as I like to call him now. They don't feel like freshmen because they've been playing pro ball for so long. It just feels different. Like they look different than like even like a Caleb Wilson looks. Not that Caleb Wilson isn't phenomenal in his own right, or DeBonta or Darren Peterson, but they just look grown.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, Neo's so sick.
Sick, sick. He's my favorite player in college basketball right now.
Did you catch what I did there?
It
Neo, so sick. Yeah,
took me a second, but I got
he's
it.
pretty sick. All right, let's get to the Discord. Join the Discord. Would love to see you in there. We've got a really fun, thriving community, I would say, right now. It feels like our Discord is more active than it's ever been in terms of engagement. And dare I say, knock on wood, normally whenever I say this, it goes south. Feel like we haven't had any incidents in the Discord in a while. So kudos to all members of the community for making this a loving, fun place to engage with other sports fans. Helps when pretty much every team that we have representation for is all undefeated right now. Like vibes are pretty much high with everybody right now. So let's start today with All Hail the Pope, who says, when Kentucky beats Little Brother, will you all not only put us in the top 10, but top three?
Um, hold on, let me double check something real quick. Unfortunately, it looks like I have Kentucky. Oh wait, no, I have Kentucky top five. I wasn't looking at my top five, so I thought I had Kentucky unranked for a second. So I already have them in the top five. I'll hit the
You're
Pope.
you're not going to like this answer, I'll hail the Pope, but it depends on how it looks. If you beat Louisville by like one and it's a gross game, no, I probably won't put them that high. If I watch the game and think it's really, really high level and somehow Kentucky wins by 10, then yeah, absolutely. I might rank you number one in the country. It's going to depend on what I see. Isaiah from NYC says if Alabama beats Purdue, they should be top 7 in the country. Do you agree? Same answer. It's going to depend on what it looks like to me. I don't really go into these games with like a definitive if they win, they get to go here.
Yeah. Can we speak on St. John's quickly? I don't want to go too long.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
That Bama performance wasn't good to me. Like that was yucky. I didn't love that performance at all. I thought they should have beat Bama.
Cart felt the same way. I thought Phylon was amazing. I thought St. John's got whatever they wanted offensively. So I'm skeptical of the Bama defense right now, not the offense. It's Nate Oates, but yeah, we'll learn a lot. Alabama Purdue should be a really fun game. We just recorded the preview of it, and I'm looking forward to it. We have a very small Malik flurry here. I don't know what you call a small flurry, but maybe a couple flakes from Malik here. We start with I think Kansas is one of the losers. Outside of Peterson, they have no one who can really help him. Stock up, down, or the same on the Jayhawks.
Down. I don't think, and hand up because I was very high on Kansas. I don't think physically Darren Peterson's ready for this type of workload.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't making it through games.
Yeah.
Multiple at this point, going back to the exhibition season. So I think that's fair to say. I have to say the same, but I was more negative on Kansas than you guys were coming into the season. I really didn't like this roster build to begin with. They've been exactly what I expected. Peterson's amazing, and they've asked way too much of him. So I think it could change, but yeah, stock the same. Two more from Malik. Next one, I think Cohen Carr's free throw shooting is a winner. He was 7 for 8 in the win over Arkansas.
Colin Carr looked phenomenal in that game.
He
I
did.
thought. I thought he looked really, really good. I think you could see the vision for him, not just at Michigan State, but also at the next level with the way he played. Little Draymond in it, but he needs to be better defensively. But I love the way he attacked the glass.
Yeah, relentless. I thought it was the best performance of his young career. That 7 for 8 game took him up to 69% on the season, and it doesn't include the exhibition games where he couldn't make a free throw. So, yeah, but Cohen looked good. Not due to his free throw shooting. I would say stock up Cohen Carr. One more, still not fully in on Michigan State yet, but I see some good things in this team. The two spot might have a new starter soon. Let the young boy Scott get minutes. We've got a couple videos breaking down Izzo's quotes on things with Michigan State. He said he likes a quarterback controversy as he put Trey Fort in over Kurtang. Then he basically said he praised the freshmen. The freshmen need more minutes and all these things. I think his exact words were Divine Ugachukwu, Kurtang, and Trey Fort. He needs more basketball from those guys, whatever that means. People seem sold that Jordan Scott's the answer. Jordan Scott is a 6'8", 200-pound freshman wing. They're going to ask him to play out of position if they put him at the two. I do think it can work, but are you buying that as the outcome here?
No, I'm not sure what the outcome is for Michigan State. I didn't leave that game thinking higher of Michigan State. I left that game thinking pretty lower of Arkansas. More than anything, I thought Cam Ward was phenomenal though. Once again, Izzo has another one
Yeah.
to go along with Josiah Jervis as well, who's on the way. So, but outside of Cam Ward, I mean, Jeremy Fears controlled the game, but overall, I just felt like Acuff was rushing because he was at home, and I think if you got like a calmer Acuff performance, I think Arkansas wins that game.
Yeah, I think it was a high level game for me. I'm frustrated with some Arkansas issues right now, but it's the freshman from Michigan State. To Malik's point, Scott and Ward give this team upside in a way that we might not have thought coming into the season. It's just Scott's the only shooter in that group, and Ward was amazing.
Respectfully to Malik Thomas, brother, this is not overtime elite.
Yeah, I hated his performance. Some terrible shot selection in that game.
He does it like he just runs around, grabs rebounds, runs to the 3-point line, and just launches threes. It's insane.
It's weird because he was so good in their first couple of performances, and he got a lot of open looks in this game that he didn't hit. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. One more comment today is from Jay Millie, who says, "Do you have any goals for the channel this season? The lights shine the brightest when you be grinding in the dark." A little wisdom from Jay Millie out of nowhere there. Well, we just announced that you're starting a new project that we now have to deliver on. Otherwise, we let the entire world down. What are your goals for the season, Dion?
Um, I think my goals for the season, I don't really pay attention to like numbers or anything. Like whenever I get the Venmo, that's how I kind of tell like, hey, we had a good month. Probably just like learn more about the process. I want to learn more about like the behind the scenes stuff, like how you come up with topics, your line of thinking, just more of like the operational aspect. And then maybe in the future, like I'm able to help you take something off of your plate because you and Cart are like the two hardest working people I've ever met. I'm not sure I can help Cart, outside of like what I'm already doing to help card out. But like I feel like there's an avenue like I could, take something off your plate in the future too.
Well, I love that outlook. This is why we love working with you. I don't know. This is kind of maybe a dumb answer. I should probably think more about big picture goals, but the big like light at the end of the tunnel finish line goal for this season for me is definitely execute on a live show at the Final Four. It's in Indianapolis. We obviously have some great things happening with Purdue's point guard. Like it should all lead up to an opportunity to do something really cool as sleepers on site at the Final Four. I don't know how it's going to happen, what it looks like, if it's independent or if it's for somebody else. But I know that Indianapolis is a city that we could execute on this in.
Yeah.
We're comfortable there. We've been there before. So I'm working on that. I would love to make that happen and be really proud if we could get our whole team involved in something cool like that. Outside of that, it's our mantra. We say it all the time, and it's not a joke. Stay low and build, baby. Like right now, we are delivering better performance day to day with this channel than any March that we've ever had. And I think the off-season improvements we made with social media and getting more people involved has really helped us. It's been rewarding to see a new audience return daily right now into the season and realize they like listening to us every day, and just don't want to let those people down. Keep growing this and keep our head down and do the work.
Um, so like question on the live show. If the 3 unit bet is still going on, I think I would be really bad. Do we want that?
Yeah, so here's the thing. And I guess let's just be candid on it. But so like we now work with Braden Smith. I
Yeah.
want to make one thing extremely clear. Carter and I
Yeah.
talked. We are not going to bet Purdue again ever.
Yeah. Should I cancel it?
Well, you placed it before we ever had any sort of engagement with him. But like I realized last week, like I was doing daily picks, and I'm like, I'm not commenting on a Purdue game.
Right.
Like that's so inappropriate. So like just to be abundantly clear about it from our perspective, like we work with Braden Smith, zero betting anything Purdue again for me ever. Um Now this was a you placed this in the summer, you've documented that. So I think like saying out loud that you placed a future before the season is cool. We're not gonna like be telling Braden this and
No, of
make it
course
part
not.
of this, but yeah, anyways, I think the point is I'm trying to be very careful about shit like that. We're not going to make betting oriented content at the Final Four.
JK, um, blur out what I said. Blur out what I said, JK.
But hey, that was preseason, Dion. I think you're fine. Okay, that's the comments today. Thank you, everybody. Your goal could be don't go to jail at the Final Four.
So, I mean, at Final Four wise, I think the goal is make it home. Um,
Let's just get, we got to move on, man. Word from our sponsor that we don't have. Thank you. Let's get to the show. First topic today, I got a screenshot that I took yesterday that comes to the timeline courtesy of the one and only, the great Trilly Donovan. Everybody knows Trilly, the greatest burner account, in my opinion, in internet history, and the creator of Basket Under Review, who is putting out great work right now. All the people at Basket Under Review are just constantly making really smart, really entertaining content. Brian Ralph's doing a weekly show over there now. Get the newsletter, all that. Go support Trilly and the team at Basket Under Review. With that said, Trilly took a list here of 8 teams that have a 10 or more spot difference in the rank between where they're at in the AP poll and where they're at on kenpom.com. We kind of did this in the preseason, like a who's right, the preseason AP poll or KenPom on these teams. Well, there's been some sizable shifts here. So I want to go through these 8 teams, and basically the analytics either say they are really for real or a little fraudulent based on where they're at in the personal polls. We'll go through these and we'll debate which one feels right. We
Okay.
start with the Oregon Ducks, who have a 24 spot difference. It's the biggest difference that any team has. Ken Palm says that Oregon is the 53rd best team in the sport. That's down 18 spots from where they were in the preseason. They're 2-0, but they beat Hawaii by 1. They beat Rice by 4. In the AP poll, they are technically, I don't even know how this is real. They're 29th. They must have been in the others receiving votes category. So there you have it. 29th in the AP poll, 53rd on Ken Palm. What do you think's more accurate for Oregon from what you've seen?
And we're just doing this solely based off the two games we've watched, not what we think of the roster, right?
Kind of a mix. You can go wherever you want. Like if you think it's just been a slow start and they'll be fine, you can speak to that.
I think based off what we watch, I would agree with Kempom. I think roster wise, I think they're better than 29. I think if they can get it together, I think this is top 25 team.
They need Shellstad, right? Without Shellstad, I'm not surprised at all. The metrics say they're outside the top 50. They're
Yeah.
not built to survive a long-term Shellstad injury, and he has a relatively long-term injury right now. The one thing I would say, we put Wei Lin, the international prospect, in our top 50 Ken Pom players. He's been terrible. He's off the bench in game two, and he has 5 points on the season. He is 0 for 12 from the floor through 2 games. So to me, that was the Shellstad replacement. And if Wei Lin is not even in the starting lineup after 2 games, I am really worried about this. They're really fortunate to be 2-0, and they need Shellstad back sooner rather than later. Next on the list is Creighton. There's a 20 spot difference here. The poll has them 23rd. Ken Pom says they are 43rd. Carter just cringed when I said that out loud because he's Creighton's biggest believer. What do you think of Creighton?
I agree with Kempom on this one. I did the Gonzaga Creighton preview with Connor. Um, I don't want to say I'm out on Creighton by any means, but boy, do I love Gonzaga. I guess it's last night. Sorry. um, I love Gonzaga in that game. Jackson McAndrew, respectfully to Cart, like, I mean, what are we talking about? Blake Harper, I don't think is fully ready for this level of competition. And then, I mean, the guy I like the most on the roster is Owen Freeman, and he's coming off the bench at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think this should surprise anyone. I've been a Creighton skeptic all year. I think the whole Big East stinks. And if Creighton's supposed to be the third best team, woof, this conference is bad. I think 43 feels right. Like you said, Owen Freeman should be a star, Kalkbrenner replacement. He was the Ken Pom MVP in their first game, and he's not starting. He played 19 minutes off the bench. Now, McDermott should change that. I think he will. Isaac Trout is starting over him, but it's crazy. Between Freeman off the bench and then Hudson Greer, a 4-star freshman who is like redshirting, they're just not like talented players are not in roles I thought they would be in on this Creighton team. And
Yeah.
ugly start. 16-point win over South Dakota was ugly. Next
Yeah,
up, you got something?
I was gonna say that they're a weird roster. I think they have talented guys. I don't think the roster really fits together, and I think that's part of the reason Owen Freeman's coming off the bench.
Yeah, I'm with you. Next up, Michigan State, 16 spot difference, the third biggest. 17th in the AP poll after that Arkansas win. Ken Pom has them at 32 right now. They're down 7 spots from where they were before the season.
Ooh, I don't agree with either, to be honest with you. I think they're right in the middle of both. Right in the middle of both.
I think they're better than in the 30s. Like
Yeah.
I would bet on this team being a top 25 team, even if the metrics doesn't see it. I think it's not surprising analytics don't love them after they shot 7% from three, though. Like you gotta like perform offensively for the analytics to like you, and they didn't. Give them credit for winning the game anyway, but I think Michigan State's one of those programs that almost always I think can outperform what the analytics say they are through intangible toughness and all the Tom Izzo stuff. Next up is UCLA. AP poll says they're 15th. Ken Pom says they are 30th.
30th. Um, Bet them last night, had them minus 22 and a half live. They only won by 21. I'm out.
They burned you.
Yeah, they burned me. Also, like for what it's worth, Donovan Dent. I really, really like Donovan Dent's game. Um, Not the like most efficient guy in the world, though.
No, he's been a chucker through
Yeah.
2 games for them. Now, he didn't play against West Georgia last night. Maybe that's why they didn't cover 21 and a half for you. But
Well, I mean, Trent Perry, like brother, like I mean, just make a three, you know?
he was 2 for 5 from three, 9 assists last night too. I was actually impressed with Perry. But anyways, point being, Yeah, I am worried. I like UCLA. I still think they're a top 25 team. They're better than 30th or whatever they are on Ken Palm right now for me, but they're definitely worse than I anticipated. Booker's doing a lot for them right now. And he's played well, but that probably won't last all that well. I'm a little scared, ominously, about that. So, not good that Dent's out for game three. Also, that's random. Vanderbilt, 30th per the AP poll, 15th on Ken Palm. The analytics love Vanderbilt relative to the humans.
I think I agree with the humans on this one. I don't think Vanderbilt's a top 25 team.
They got the fifth best offense in the country on Ken Palm right now. They scored 105 points in both games. This might shock people. I think they're good. I think Tyler Tanner is a breakout star. He's been sensational through two games, 18 points and 17 points, very efficiently doing so in the process. People made jokes that Frankie Collins is like AJ Hoggard 2.0. Frankie Collins is coming off the bench for them. He's not the starting point guard that Hoggard was because they got dudes. This offense is really good. I think Vanderbilt's going to surprise some people this year for sure. Three more here. Auburn's next. They're 22nd in the AP poll. They're 36th on Ken Palm. I audibly laughed when I saw that they were ranked this week. I think they're outside the top 25 by far, and Ken Palm's right.
What was the number Ken Palm had them at?
36th on Ken Palm.
Can I say both is too high?
Yeah, where do you want them to be?
I think Auburn's in the 40s. I've been adamant all off season. I didn't love what Tahad did. I was pretty out on that decision. Also, like I think I made this point to Riley. When dudes go to the through the whole draft process like that, if they don't think these college coaches are calling every NBA team and saying, "Hey, what did you see?"
Yeah.
Like that way we can attack it. And I think Tahad's dealing with that, where it's like everything about his game was exposed to 30 NBA teams, and then they exposed it to hundreds of college teams. And I don't think he has like or at least he hasn't found his curveball yet, right? Like he's still trying to throw his fastball. The curveball might come. I'm not saying it won't. I think Tahad's a very, very like really, really good player. But I think Tahad being like the only like the focus of the offense necessarily without Bruce Pearl, without some of like the defense they had last year, without some of the shooters they had last year. I've been pretty out on this team for a while, and they haven't really done anything to change my mind.
I think you're right. It's gross. I don't want any part of it. I would not be surprised if they finish outside of the top 50. We'll leave it at that. Two more fun ones here. Illinois, 11 spot difference, 14th in the AP poll, third on Ken Palm. I voted them third in my personal top 25 this week. I think they're that good. And I understand Tomovic's injuries hanging over this. They're probably not third in the country without their best player, but they got so many dudes that are just way better than people realize right now. I love this. Wagler's like their fourth best player. He's averaging 26 and 4 right now.
We're going to learn a lot about them against Tech. Or I guess I keep doing that. We learned a lot about them against
Well, it's
Tech.
hard because we're recording this before the Texas Tech game, so like half of what I say might end up looking really stupid if Texas Tech blows them out. But no, I'm fine to say I really believe in this Illinois team.
I did too. I was going to say, like, even if they lose to Tech, I think that might wind up being two top five teams in the country. I don't think that's necessarily going to end up being like a slight against Illinois if that's what happens.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm really in on this team. I love Baby Merc. And as long as he's on the roster, I'm going to have them very high.
call him Baby Merc.
Yeah. Because he's really Baby Dre. But like, it's disrespectful to compare him to anybody else, so he's just Baby Merc to me.
So you just replace the guy you're comparing him with his own name.
Yeah, yeah, because he's only Merc. You know, he's the only Merc.
The only person you can compare him to is himself.
Yeah,
he's he's
yeah,
Merc.
yeah. He's Baby Merc.
I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. Last one here is Gonzaga. They are 19th in the AP poll, 8th on Ken Palm, 11 spot difference. They looked really good against Oklahoma. I think it's a little different than they anticipated because hashtag not my Braden Smith did not look all that good starting at point guard. But Mario St. Super Mario, had 6 assists and looked pretty amazing off the bench. So I'll get out in front of this. We haven't talked a ton about Gonzaga. I think this defense is amazing.
Yeah.
Like maybe the best defense in the country with all the wing defenders that they have. They're gonna have to figure things out offensively. It might not always be all that pretty. I don't think they're a great shooting team. They shot 27% in game one, but I like them. I think they're closer to a top 10 team than outside of it.
Um, I haven't. I don't know where I put him at, but I agree with Ken Palm. I think this defense is phenomenal. I mentioned it. I don't think they're going to shoot. I think Adam Miller was 2 of 7 in their last game. He's not going to do that. Not that 2 of 7 is bad, but he's not going to do that again. Um, I love this Gonzaga team. Like you said, the length on defense. Also, on the Gonzaga Creighton preview, I mentioned this to Connor, and it's fair. There's a million really, really good freshmen, and then there's Braden, TK, so on and so forth that are returning. I think there's so many really good players in college basketball. I think we forgot how good Graham Ike is too. He's also really, really good. To go along with that defense, to go along with some of those guys, and Tyon Grant Foster, I think it's going to kill the competition that they have as well. Like it's the perfect level for him. Um, our guy Christian, I don't know how to say his last name.
Oh, Jack Gian?
Yeah, so he has a bet plus 1,200 to make the final four, and I saw his reasoning for it, and an incredible bet. They're a lock to make the Sweet 16, and then, like he said, and then at that point you just need two. And I think this defense can hang with anybody in the country.
Yeah, I like buying Gonzaga this season. I'm pretty in on the formula. All right, there you have it. Topic two, it's very rare that I feel like there's a little bit of overlap between topics, but unfortunately today, a couple of the teams we just talked about in terms of being undervalued will end up appearing in this exercise as well. There are 7 high major teams that I want to run through with you that, despite winning multiple games in week one, have dropped significantly per Ken Palm in how they're expected to be analytically. This also was, I found this because Isaac Trotter tweeted this. So shout out to Trotter, who does amazing work over at CBS Sports. So I want to work through these, starting at the bottom of the list and work our way up to the top teams. This one is going to continue dropping because Xavier began the season 62nd, started the year 2-0, dropped to 90th as an undefeated team, and then just lost to Santa Clara by 20 and has now dropped out of the top 100 to 107th. I guess let's frame this as, will they turn it around? Xavier is now 2-1, has dropped 50 spots on Ken Palm, outside the top 100 in the Big East, staring down Iowa in their next game. Will Richard Pitino and this makeshift roster, will they turn it around at Xavier?
I don't think so. I really don't like the roster. I don't think they turn it around at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to like. You look through it, it was Roddy Anderson who got a Ken Palm MVP, but they're really one dimensional right now. There's just nobody I would point to that feels like a legitimate high major quality player. So I'm selling low on Xavier. I think this team's a disaster. Next up the list is Michigan's opponent on Tuesday night. By the time you'll be listening to this, it will be after this game. We'll have another data point that we don't have currently. Wake Forest is 2-0 coming into the Michigan game, but they've fallen from 49th preseason on Ken Palm to 66th. Will they turn it around?
No. I think the ACC is a lot better than like we thought in the beginning of the year. I think Virginia's pretty good. I love Virginia Tech, my guy Neo. North Carolina, Louisville, Duke. The ACC is better than we thought. I think Wake Forest is who we thought they were. Combine the two, I think they stick exactly where they're at.
So I think it depends on your definition of turn it around. I don't even know what's going to happen in the Michigan game. Wake Forest might cover in that game, and or they might get blown out. Either way, I think they're going to be like top 5 in the ACC to me, but that doesn't make them like an NCAA tournament team. So if I had to bet like 66th on Ken Palm, I think Wake finishes like around 50. So in a small sense, that is a turn it around. It's just not going to be like anything overly impressive. I think Juke Harris is really good though. The sophomore breakout guy. I think he's a star and pretty dynamic, like wing forward that nobody can deal with, that can do a lot. So keep an eye on Juke Harris. I think they'll be marginally better than it seems. Missouri is next. Missouri started the season 3-0, but has dropped from 28 down to 35 on Ken Palm. Notably, they were in a tie game with Southeast Missouri in the final 4 minutes in the second game of the season. Will they turn it around?
Is their next year recruiting class going to be able to play for them this year? If the answer is yes, they'll turn it around. If the answer is no, I think they're done. But for what it's worth, do they really care? Because they're going to pull in one of the best recruiting classes Missouri's probably had since what, Michael Porter Jr.?
Yeah, I think vibes with the program are high regardless of what happens this year, in my opinion. Anthony Robinson's really good. I think he'll be okay. Mark Mitchell's a proven product. They start Sebastian Mack. I'm so out on the Sebastian Mack experience at this point. I don't know. I'm not buying Missouri stock. I don't know if they're going to tank, but This is just not a team I'm really all that interested in. We got four more on the list, and yes, a couple of these are going to be ones we talked about in the last exercise now. Michigan State, 2-0, but they've dropped from 25th to 33rd. Will they turn it around?
Like turning around to being like top 25, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like analytically, end of the season, we're looking at
Oh,
Michigan State as a better team than this.
analytically, I don't know. I think the way Michigan State's going to win games is not going to be analytically pleasing, if that makes sense. But I think they're a top 25 team in the country.
Yeah. I get that. I think they will turn it around in the sense they're going to move minutes from their bad players to the freshmen. I think Scott and Ward are going to take over for Tang and Fort, and it's going to lead to good things as the season goes on. So I do buy it. There will be a boomerang turnaround for Michigan State that they'll climb back up the ranks. Three more. UCLA, big dip here. Started 10th in Ken Palm, has fallen to 30th despite a 3-0 start.
I don't think they turn it around. The Big Ten, much like the ACC, not that we thought the Big Ten was gonna like not be good, but I think the teams that are really good might be different than like what we once thought. Like Illinois is better than I thought they were gonna be. Michigan State seems better than I thought they were gonna be. Iowa, by the way, very, very fun team.
Signetti, football, basketball Signetti might be Ben McCollum in Iowa.
Yeah, like I'm not. I like somebody has to fall off because of it. My guy, Chad Baker Mazar, has USC humming. That's the best team in LA to me. So like, I think UCLA is kind of just going to be a product of a much better Big Ten.
It's possible. It's possible. I just think they're better than 30th. So I don't know what that means as far as turn it around. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping as this goes on. But yeah, I think they're better than 30th. I guess I would buy low on a UCLA team to turn it around if possible. Two more. Oregon is the last one we talked about, and then there's one more surprise at the top. Oregon has fallen from 35 to 53 despite an ugly 2-0 start.
Yeah, they turn it around, especially if Shellstad's back. But I think they turn it around.
I think I'm gonna surprise you here. I don't think they do. I think this becomes the year from hell for Oregon, to use a Bill Simmons term about a team that's supposed to be good and just falls apart completely. They're really thin. Like even when Shellstad's back, it's him and Biddle and like nothing else. And I think they're flirting with disaster. They start to lose a couple, it could fall completely off the rails.
Him and Biddle to me gotta be good for like 37 though.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Points props, maybe. Points props. Last but certainly not least, we saved it for last. Drum roll, please. Purdue is 2-0, going to Alabama on Thursday. But they've dropped from first to seventh on Ken Palm. We thought we were harsh putting them sixth in our poll. The analytics say they're worse than we have them in the poll. Will they turn it around in the sense that will they get back up to the top of the sport instead of just a good team?
Um, I don't know. I can't tell what's going on with them at the moment. I've watched both games twice, by the way. Did a little second research. Um, I feel like they got senioritis, man. Like they feel like it feels like a senior in college or high school, which they are, by the way. That just like a little bit like done with the college, going to class, a little bit done going to high school. You know what I mean? It feels like they have senioritis. Ultimately, I do think they turn it around, but it's hard for me to fully believe teams can flip a switch. So like I think they need to turn it around soon.
Yeah, I think they're going to end up a top five team. I don't think they're going to end up number one in the country. Just think the Big Ten's too good. There's bigger threats than we realized in that league. And I think if Purdue survives that, they deserve more flowers than we anticipated. But I think we all viewed this as like there's some separation here. I don't think there is. That doesn't mean they're worse than we thought. It just means it's going to be harder than we thought for them. Don't judge Purdue too much for games without Trey Kaufman-Renn. It's totally different than what this team will be. And there's some lingering concerns, but without him, we don't know what they are. Third and final topic today. I want to go through the five major conferences in college basketball and update our conference predictions, see how much has changed from right before the season began to 1 week into it. So, what I'm looking for this, basically, who is your pick to win the conference? And then who is the biggest threat?
Okay.
This might have changed from previously. Let's start in the conference that we know and love, the Big Ten Conference. Who's your pick to win and who's the biggest threat?
My pick to win is still Purdue. Just because I think some of Illinois' flaws like kind of plays into what Purdue wants to do. And then if you look at the schedule, Purdue just has the easier schedule, but Illinois is easily, I think, the biggest threat at the moment. But like 1A, 1B with Michigan, like I think Big Ten probably has three of the top seven teams in the country.
Think there's a tier of three at the top for sure, and it was a tier of one before the season. Assuming Tomislava Visic is healthy and not missing Big Ten games, I'm going to pick Illinois to win this league. And I'm going to say that Purdue is the biggest threat. I think Michigan could win the league. But to me, Illinois is just on a different playing field right now, man. Maybe I'll feel different after a couple more Michigan performances. Maybe I'll feel different if Texas Tech beats them. But what I have seen through two Illinois games is more impressive than anybody else, and it's not all that close. And they're not even healthy yet, right? They have not been at full strength at all, and they look that good. So give me that. Give me Purdue, but I think it's a dogfight down to the final couple games of the season. And people might get mad at that prediction. I don't know. But I'm a reactionary person, Dion. To the Big 12 conference, who's the favorite and who is the team to beat? Or the biggest threat?
Favorite has to be BYU. I don't love Houston right now. I got to be honest with you. I think if those secret scrimmages weren't secrets, I think we're looking at this team a lot different. Congrats to Kelvin Sampson for knowing how to lock the doors to the public during exhibition season. But if he did what all the other coaches did and then came with these first two performances, I think we're looking at them a lot differently. I still think Houston's the biggest threat in this, but I got to give BYU credit where credit's due.
You think BYU's looked that good though? To me, they're one of the like, yeah, I'm a little worried about how they look to start.
I think to me, with the way BYU's looked, their flaws are the easiest to clean up.
Yeah.
And to me, it's mostly just defining roles, which is going to happen across the season. The way Houston's look, like there's some pretty big issues there. Milos, respectfully, I don't think Milos is the number one option on like a conference championship team.
All right, I think that's a fair opinion. I'm going to hold strong with Houston. It's kind of funny to see which ones we're selling individually on this. I think the floor is still so high with this defense, and over a 20 game sample size, they'll get better and figure it out as the freshmen get a little older. I'll take Houston to win, but I think Arizona is right on their heels. Arizona, to me, might be the best team in the country, and they're the biggest threat for sure. I want to pick them to beat Houston, but I have so much respect for Kelvin that I don't think I can. How about the ACC next? This is one that I'm confused at the top of.
I still think Duke's the team to beat. Ultimately, I'm not sure Duke has any threats. If I had to choose one, I think I got North Carolina.
Yeah, I think Carolina and Louisville have inserted themselves into this conversation a lot more than I expected at the beginning of the year. Think I'm going to hold strong with Duke out of respect for Cam Boozer, but I do not like what I see from Duke's supporting cast right now. The guards and even the wings are not where I thought they would be. I feel great about the front court. Everything else is a question. Problem is Louisville, I feel the flip. I hate their front court and I love their guards. And North Carolina, I might pick North Carolina to win this league if Seth Trimble was healthy. He just is going to be out for 2 months.
I
So,
forgot about Trimble. I actually think I like Louisville more than Duke at the moment, but Duke's going to be able to bully them. Like the Louisville's flaws are too big against what Duke's like strengths are.
all right, I'm going to frame it this way. If Seth Trimble is back for ACC play, I'm going to pick North Carolina to win this league. But I worry that he won't be. So for now, I'm going Duke, and I'm going to say North Carolina is the biggest threat.
I
I
like
love
that.
Caleb Wilson though, man. He's so good. Big East, I feel like nothing really has changed here. It's got to be UConn and St. John's in some order at the top, right?
UConn at the top, St. John's, I guess biggest threat, but like
Not even really that big of a threat.
nah, the probably the least biggest threat out of any conference we've done so far.
That's the league my opinion has changed the least on. I think it's a total joke of a league. UConn might go undefeated in it, and St. John's will go 18-2 because they get to play a bunch of Marquettes this year. Good. The middle of that league is worse than I thought, and I did not think very highly of it coming in. Last but not least, the SEC. Lots of different ways you could go with this. I think the biggest thing that's changed for me is Tennessee doesn't look as good as I thought they would be. So, who do you think wins this league, and who's the biggest threat?
I still stand firm. Kentucky wins the league. I like the way Kentucky's looked so far. I think if they get healthy, I think they're the most talented, deepest team, not just in the league, but in the country. Um, Biggest threat, I think you could throw a rock into an ocean and just whoever like it hits is who you take. Florida, Arkansas, Bama, Tennessee, any of that group. I think I'll go Florida, process of elimination. I didn't like the way Arkansas looked against State. Tennessee hasn't looked good. Bama looked good against St. John's, but I feel more like negative about St. John's than I do positive about Bama.
Yeah, the biggest threat is the field, basically. Like there's just a lot of interchangeable parts here.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about Kentucky's availability more. Like, are they gonna get JQ? Are they really gonna do this like play everybody 17 minutes thing? I think they're good. They're gonna be top four, but I don't think they win the league or are the biggest threat. I'm gonna say Florida wins the league. I thought they looked really good against Arizona, even though Arizona won the game. And I'm going to say Alabama's the biggest threat because I think LeBaron Philon is a lot better than I realized, Dion.
I like Bama. I just have to admit they do the thing they did last year I didn't like, where they just shoot a lot of threes, but no one really makes them. And the St. John's game felt like the game where they're going to make them, and I think that's why I kind of left with a similar feeling that I had last year.
Yeah. Yep. All right. There we have it. I enjoyed that. I feel like that reframed the sport a little bit for me through 1 week. One big thing presented by us. What do you got?
One big thing, sabbaticals. I think you got to go on them from time to time. I think you got to take breaks. I didn't know what sabbatical meant until you brought it up earlier. So Googled it. Big break guy though, and I think you just got to take breaks.
Yeah, Card and I for years have been proponents of take a break when needed from all things. Card we know Card takes breaks. Huge break guy. So yeah, I endorse your sabbatical mission, Dion. I hope it goes well for you, my friend.
Yeah.
One big thing for me. So I got a thing. It's probably going to be the topic of the newsletter for me this week, unless something else hits me. But parenthood story, real quick. So one of the first disciplinary things I've had to like, not even discipline for, but just it drives me crazy. Murphy in her kid's car seat in the car. If we drive somewhere even for 30 seconds, she takes her shoes off in the car. And now the weather's getting colder, right? So she can't just get out of the car on her bare feet. It's freezing. And it's hard, like if you have a 2.5-year-old, it's hard to put shoes and socks on them. Like they wiggle around, especially in a car seat, or I'm lifting her out of the car seat trying to do it. It's just not convenient. So I've been trying, like, reinforce positively, like Murphy, keep your shoes on in the car. That way you can walk, all these things. Nothing was really resonating. At some point, I kind of like got a little snappy at one point. Not like super harsh, but just like, Murphy, I told you don't take your shoes off in the car. And I could tell she kind of was like, whoa, that was a weird response. I've never seen dad talk to me that way. So, anyways, this has been going on for like 3 weeks, getting increasingly more annoying to me. It's snowing now. Like it's really becoming make or break. Yesterday we went to the Y at like 5:30 pre-dinner. I'm gonna go take her to shoot around at the Y and get out of the car in the parking lot, open up the door, and this girl with the biggest eyes, bug eyes open ever, with a huge smile on her face goes, "Look, Daddy, I kept my shoes on in the car."
Special. Special.
Greatest moment of my parenthood. I felt so accomplished. I was like, "Girl, I'm so proud of you." She was like, "I can walk in by myself now." It was just like she listened and she knew what she was doing and she wanted me to be proud of her, and I am proud of her. My daughter keeps her shoes on in the car.
Special, special. I've always been high on Murph. I'm also high on Banks. I want to warn you, when this happens with Banks, you'll get out the car, open the door. Not only will his shoes be off, he will be out of the car and inside of the Y before you make it to his door.
100%. So, quick bank story. Learn something about Banks, the psycho that he is. Through 8 months of Banks's life, I have not found anything I can connect with him on. Like that, he doesn't smile at me. He scowls. He fusses. Like they're just not. He hates me. And I like that. I'm okay. Like tough kid. I'll work on this. This week discovered this. He loves to dribble.
Okay.
Like put him on his butt, basketball in front of him, take his hand and go dribble, 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 dribble. He loves it. So I've been doing that for like 45 minutes with him a night, working on the left solely right now, only the left hand. And I'm optimistic for where this could go.
I love Leon versus Banks for a state title one day.
Yeah, I don't want that smoke, to be honest with you. I
I
don't.
think we'll be good. I think we'll be good.
We'll have to find out. That's the show today. Thank you, Dion. More to come on Dion's new show next week. We'll see y'all tomorrow.